All right. Today we are taking a look at a deck that was so good that it got this card, Geological Appraiser, a 4 mana uncommon, banned in Pioneer. This is the Geological Appraiser Discover combo deck, and it's a pretty cool one. So in the past, we've seen a lot of decks that need to get to your 3-4 mana curve in order to play a spell that can get a bunch of things out of the deck. Think something like your Neoform combo that gets a bunch of dual caster mages out and Glasspool Mimics to copy them. That kind of style of kill. And we're basically able to do that in a sort of different way here using some unique new cards here, which is going to be a lot of fun. So obviously Geological Appraiser is going to be the way that we start things off most of the time. We have technically a turn 3 combo if you can get one of these onto the battlefield using some of your mana acceleration for Magma Opus and Creative Outburst. So with 3 lands and one of those treasure tokens, we can cast this thing and we get to discover 3. So that means that we can find anything 3 or less, of which we have 8 copies. We have 4 Glasspool Mimics, which can enter and make a copy of this card, and we have Eldritch Evolutions that are able to have us sack one of our creatures and go get another thing. So what will happen here is we basically just need to hit Geological Appraiser, and then one of two things happen. Either we copy it with the Glasspool Mimic, so we'll have, at most 12 damage with this thing, or we'll hit Eldritch Evolution, and we will sacrifice one of our Geological Appraisers to go find a 6-drop. And the 6-drops that we do want to be finding here, I'll actually move Galta over a little bit, are Trumpeting Carnosaur is the main one here. This has its own Discover ability. We're able to discover 5, and that can hit some more things that we'll get into in a sec. But basically this thing's a 7/6 or 6 mana trampler, which is pretty freaking awesome. So when we get to this point and we're discovering 5, we again can hit Eldritch Evolution, and if that's the case, we'll find a Galta at the top end of our curve, which allows us to just dump our hand, and hopefully from there we should be able to win the game. Another thing that could happen is we could just hit more Glasspool Mimics, which is fine because we just can we can copy our Trumpeting Carnosaur again, and instead of getting a 3/2, we now get a 7/6 Trampler, and our little combo gets to keep on going. So after that, the other thing that we can hit now is Repudiate Replicate. This is a total of 5 mana with the split cards total mana cost. That's how this works. Basically, for split cards, you just sum the mana, and that's what it's considered when you're looking at it in your library. And so for the Repudiate side, this is essentially kind of like a Stifle. Could be useful, could not be useful, who knows. But what we will be wanting to do is replicating our Trumpeting Carnosaur or Geological Appraiser. So what we'll do is we are going to discover 5 off of this Carnosaur. We hit one of our 3 potential hits here, or we can Eldritch into a Galta. Now the other thing that we can do with this Eldritch on Geological Appraiser is we can get Torrential Gearhulk. And this is just basically something that we want to be doing after we have Eldritch Evolutions and Repudiate Replicates in the battlefield. Because, also one thing to notice about Eldritch Evolution, I kind of forgot to mention this, is that it doesn't have to find something exactly 2 greater, it's X or less. So you can actually just still get more Trumpeting Carnosaurs out with Eldritch Evolution. It's not like a fizzling of your combo. Now, Torrential Gearhulk, just basically a really good card, allows you to cast this back. You also have your discarded Magma Opus and Creative Outburst, which still are relevant. And then I guess I may as well mention at this point that we're playing Bedeck and Bedazzle, and so if you wanted to cast this out of the graveyard, sure, you could do that. So Torrential Gearhulk is going to be just a big body pretty much. Now, one thing that I actually forgot to do in this deck is take a look at our land count, because we are running a total of 28 lands. We consider this a 24 land deck because Glasspool Mimic almost always is going to be used for the combo instead of for the land side of things. And so what I'm actually going to be doing here is we're going to go down on one of our, any number of targets, any target, so we want to actually go down one on the Magma Opus because we can actually go get a Sublime Epiphany and play that in this deck, which is a 1-card combo with Torrential Gearhulk. So that is something that is pretty important to have in this deck here, and this will be part of our little package here. So you can combo out with Sublime Epiphany and Gearhulk, or you can just get a bunch of Carnosaurs onto the battlefield. That I meant to update, but when I pulled this deck, I did not apply that update. So anyway, we have Gearhulk, we have Carnosaur, and we have a pretty good thing going on here. Now, One issue is that when we vomit all these things onto the battlefield, whether they come out with Galta or whether they come out with our just, general combo plan, we're going to need a way to give them haste. And the way that we can do that is with Doomscar Titan. Basically, this is our other 6-drop that we can search out at the end of our chain, and it gives everything +1/+1 haste, and that should be enough to kill our opponent, especially if we can do it on turn 3. We're basically a Grixis mana base with some mana confluences helping out with some of our other colors for like Galta and Eldritch Evolution, but for the most part we shouldn't be casting these green spells. Well, with that being said, that brings us to the end of the deck tip. Let's hop into some games here and see what this deck can do. I am expecting some big, powerful magic today. This deck was good enough to get a card Banded Pioneer, so let's see what it can do in Historic. Before we hop into the games, if you want to subscribe to the channel if you are new here, you get videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And you can help me out if you are already a subscriber by liking the video and by commenting to help with the YouTube algorithm. Hope you guys like this Geological Appraiser combo deck. Let's hop in. Here we go. I do actually need to add one little amendment to the deck tech. This deck actually got this card, Geological Appraiser, banned both in Pioneer and in Explorer. So we really do got that power with us today. And I'm mulliganing looking specifically for that card right now. A Trumpeting Carnosaur will work, so we'll get rid of the Repudiate Replicate and our Eldritch Evolution. And basically, as long as we can cast our 6-drop eventually, we should be able to combo. I think I'll drop Glasspool Mimic as a land in this very unique situation. This is generally not what we're trying to do, but in this case, it probably is just going to be fine. If it was able to copy anything, we'd definitely be happy to play it in this deck, but in this case, it's not going to happen. Repudiate Replicate could actually be relevant here. We will see. Yeah, except the only issue is that this doesn't make the... Oh, it does make the blue mana that we need. Okay, we're chilling. We're chilling. We can cycle our Trumpeting Carnosaur here to kill something, and we'll take a look to see if they're going to do something crazy with this Moria Marauder. Hopefully it's just here to gain a little bit of combat damage and card advantage here. I mean, I could Repudiate Replicate this. What am I thinking about that? I mean, they're going to get that trigger twice, so I might as well just let it happen. And cool, it's 2 lands anyway. It's as if we got our Replicate or Repudiate off anyway. Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Sure, so if they discard their hand here, I can Repudiate the draw, which would be pretty sick. Looks like they don't decide to do that. And we're going to have 4 mana here, 5 mana with the Magma Opus, and then we get to Trumpeting Carnosaur, which should end us in a win. Doubt our opponent can kill us right now. I mean, they could definitely just attach a Colossus Hammer to any one of these 2 creatures, and we'll be done. Interesting that all the creatures they played right now have had Double Strike. I don't really know what the deal with that is. Maybe that's just truly to be aggressive. Okay, you got it. And hopefully they're getting ready to pass here. Plarg cannot be cast. Whenever a creature is dealt damage, this deals that much damage to the creature's controller. Okay, that's fine. Well, we're going to make our token here, and then we're going to drop a Trumpeting Carnosaur out next turn. Alright, and that's exactly 6 mana. Here is a Trumpeting Carnosaur. We get Discover 5 here, and we find actually Eldritch Evolution, which is fine. So we'll sack the Carnosaur. Unfortunately, would have liked to have one of those in a different situation, but we will get our second Trumpeting Carnosaur. And we have to go again. Repudiate Replicate. Let's go. We are going to... Whoops, not that. We're going to pass the Replicate side. And now we're getting our 7/7s onto the battlefield. We really just only need 1 more. We'll copy this little token here. And we discover 5 now. So we are just looking for our combo piece. So... And Eldritch Evolution will just about do it. We have 14, 17. I think we actually need to go 1 more time, just to be sure. So we will go find Trumpeting Carnosaur. And And now we're just looking for a little bit more out of this. Discover 3, you got it. Eldritch Evolution. We'll just get another thing out of our Geological Appraiser. This will increase the amount of cards that we, or the amount of power that we have on the battlefield. And we'll get our final Trumpeting Carnosaur here. And now we sack one of the Carnosaurs for our other 6 drop. Boom, boom. Just need an Eldritch Evolution, or we need to find a what is it called? Actually, we have 3 exiled Eldritch Evolutions. We do need to find one more. The other thing that can happen is we can make a pass the turn play. Appraiser, sure. We're just casting our whole deck here. Mimic, you got it. And we just need to give everything haste, which we do find here. We have our Eldritch Evolution. We'll sack one of these tokens, and we will give all of our creatures haste. That is our Doomscar Titan here, the 4/4. We actually could have gotten it that last turn. It's fine. We got a little bit of overkill here. That is a lot of damage. Okay, well that is a combo on turn 5. And that is the slow end for our deck, which is pretty crazy to think of. Great round 1. Let's hop into round 2. Alright, round 2. Let's go. Eldritch Evolution, Torrential Gearhulk, and Creative Outburst. So we have the mana. The only problem is we just don't have any one of our combo pieces, so we gotta mull this one. We actually find our Geological Appraiser here, so we will take it. Now the question is, what do we want to get rid of? And I think I'll probably drop the Sublime Epiphany. That's, you know, by far the most expensive card. And yeah, basically we're here. We have a turn 3 Geological Appraiser going over life gain. This will be a question of, do they have enough life gain to get over the hump first, or will I just kill them with Geological Appraiser? Gonna be interesting. Alright, we'll just take a bunch of lands here. We want to keep as many important draws in the deck as possible. Righteous Valkyrie, that makes a lot of sense. And we'll drop a Mana Confluence here, Magma Opus as well, and then go in for the kill. Couldn't imagine them having enough life gain here to get out of range. They go in, you got it. And we will Magma Opus. Resolves. Well, let's move to our turn. So we'll actually just save that that treasure just because. Here's Geological Appraiser. Let's see if we can have it. Alright, we will get the trigger on the stack here, Discover 3. They can kill the Appraiser in response, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. Alright. And unfortunately that is Eldritch Evolution. Yeah, that's our one hit that we couldn't do. Unfortunate. Well, actually, I guess in both cases we would need to copy a creature that's sitting on the battlefield. So we have 5 mana now. This is just enough to do our Torrential Gearhulk, but do we have anything really interesting in our deck? Not necessarily. And our opponent has just absolutely gone off here. Oh, but that is a Trumpeting Carnosaur, so we can do this. Our opponent's tapped out, and that should be lethal. So we got to count our Eldritch Evolutions here. We only have 3 left in deck. We'll get in here. We go down to 7. Let's see if we can combo kill. Alright, so that's Eldritch Evolution number 1. Unfortunately, this is sacking our Trumpeting Carnosaur. We have to go get another. Discover 5 again. Appraiser, cool. I actually prefer to hit this, unless we're going to hit specifically Eldritch Evolution. Let's copy the Carnosaur. An opponent sees that we have it. Amazing. Well, that was pretty much in the nick of time. Great top deck, and it allowed us to win the game, so that feels pretty solid. Round 2 in the bag. Let's hop into round 3 and do it again. Alright, round 3. We have a Geological Appraiser in our opening hand and enough lands to be able to cast it, so that is a keep. We are going to use this to scry into more lands. Sublime Epiphany, do I want to draw that? Not particularly. That's basically just good in a late game scenario when we're able to draw and then discard it. Mana Confluence. I will have that be my 3rd and 4th land, so we will need to do 1 Glasspool Shore. opponent has just shown Simic so far. It is some lands-based strategy. We should watch out for counter spells here, though I'm not sure if this is control or ramp. Let's just drop out a tapped Blood Crypt, and then we have untapped play Geological Appraiser. We also can make a token or a treasure with Creative Outburst. Midnight Clock, and it pretty much looks like they're going to be dead here, unless this is like exactly Spell Pierce. Okay, now it could be a counterspell, except they actually just foretold something, so they are tapped out. That means that they are dead to our Geological Appraiser combo. Alright. Find Glasspool Mimic, which is pretty much what we want to see first. Copy the Appraiser, discover 3. That is Eldritch Revolution, sacking the copy. Get our Carnosaur out. Discover 5. See what we hit. That is a Repudiate Replicate. Copy the Carnosaur. An Appraiser, sure. We'll be able to sack one of the Appraisers for our kill piece. And that is 14, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we will sack the Appraiser and go find our Haste Enabler. Doomscar Titan, you're up. And everything's got haste and +1/+1. That is lethal. Alright, so we were able to improve upon the combo there and get it in a bit more of a concise kill. That just felt extremely one-sided. Like, you just have to hold up a counterspell on turn 4 if you want to avoid death. Pretty wild, and I can definitely see why this was strong enough to get the card banned. Round 3 out of the way, we have round 4 coming up next. Alright, round 4. Trumpeting Carnosaur and 4 lands with a Creative Outburst. I think this is fine enough to keep. Like, we could get lucky and draw into a 4-drop, or we could just, you know, play it a bit slower and get our Carnosaur out. I'm going to avoid playing the Glasspool Mimic for as long as possible. We can actually just show them Rakdos for a bit. Okay, so this is Wizard's aggro. I probably don't need to be that scared of it. We're going to start scrying, use the most of that as possible, and we're going to scry trying to hit our Geological Appraiser. Because we know that this deck can kill us probably about as fast as we can combo, so it is time to move. This might be Reckless Rage here. No, just Infuriate. Okay. So we get hit for 6 instead of 4. I think it'd be 9 if they had had that instead. So this is, you know, better than it could have been. Repudiate Replicate. Now that actually could be nice to play, although unfortunately we don't have the colors for it. So what I'll do is Glasspool Shore and pass. I think that they probably don't kill us this turn, but I could be surprised. We'll have to make sure to sack our discard our Creative Outburst here. And we need to survive 2 turns, which is not necessarily guaranteed. There's the Reckless Charge, so that must have been their top deck for turn. This is the getting hit for 9 that I was hoping to not see. We're going to make our token here, and if we had put in the basic island, we could have Repudiate Replicated, but I think that no matter what we had done, it probably would have been a difficult situation. Not sure we can make it without a great top deck of a Geological Appraiser here. Let's see if we can get it. Big vibes. Let's get a good draw here. Darn, that is a mana source that hurts me. Kind of the opposite of what I needed. So we have basically just the ability to counter a activated ability. We'll give ourselves that option here, and if our opponent somehow cannot play a spell, I mean literally they have it on board. We see Reckless Charge and Symmetry Sages on the field. So I have to use Repudiate Replicate here, and we have to hope that they just use Reckless Charge. Play with Fire. That is lethal no matter what, unfortunately. Well, we can actually discard our Carnosaur, can't we? So does that save me? So Repudiate Replicate, I can stop one of the +3s, or one of the base power 3s. That means that I still take the 2, I still take the 3. And it's actually the same if I discard Carnosaur. So I actually need to Repudiate and discard the Carnosaur, which means that I just get another attempted draw. Okay, so we're going to counter that. pretty much anything that they have in this 3-card hand here. Like, they would just need to have, like, 3 lands or creatures with Summoning Sickness. Okay. We go to 3. Do they play another spell? If they play another spell, we die. Okay, I mean, we'll let them attack. And we will... Oh, yeah, based on the fact that they went in with this, they for sure have something. So we will see if they don't have it. This could be a bluff. I'm hoping that it is. And then we would need to just draw into a combo piece, and it would have to be the Appraiser. I think they got it. Okay. Seems like that's going to be lethal. We came close, but no cigar. Unfortunate. Opponents got us with the burn spells and their 2 Symmetry Sages. So we basically just faced against a deck that was just as fast as us. If this Carnosaur had been our Geological Appraiser, we do have the win in that situation, but, you know, that's a mulligan decision that you have to make. I kind of was edging towards the later game plan, whereas I think really what you want to be taking, if you're really looking for consistent wins, is just mulling until you have it. So we'll try that for the next round and see if that gives us some better results. Let's hop into round 5 coming up now. Okay, let's go. This is our 5th and final round. We have a different hand here. This does have the Appraiser. It does have a turn 2 Creative Outburst discard, but we just need 1 land. Alright, Leyline of Sanctity does not mean anything to us. And luckily, we actually just draw that Steam Vents right away. So that is a turn 3 combo. We could be living the life here. We have to dodge Thought Seizes and things like that. Let's hope that our opponent does some setup play here. I mean, it's a Yorion deck, so they are going to be playing slow. We see just black and white, so potentially instant speed removal is something that needs to be worried about. Geological Appraiser doesn't die to Fatal Push, so that's good. Oh, they're going to kill this. Oh, we will, I guess, fizzle that, make a white mana, and we will be now downgraded to a turn 4 kill. So basically, it's our Magma Opus next turn. I hope they actually make a similar play of exiling my treasure. That would be nice. Oh, it's a Shieldred. Okay. We do not care too much about a Shieldred because we do not draw cards. We'll lose 2 life here. That's fine. We pay. And here is Geological Appraiser for the combo kill unprotected. Possible Mimic, copy our Appraiser. We hit another copy, let's go. This is kind of the way that we want to be going about it. And now we just gotta wait for one of our 2 remaining Eldritch Evolutions to show up, and opponent kind of sees what's going on here. So, you know, definitely having 2 Eldritch Evolutions is a little risky, but, you know, you can definitely make this stuff work. And wow, I mean, it's been a pretty quick league here. We have already finished 5 games, and I think altogether it's been maybe, what, like a 20-minute series? I think I'll definitely keep this one a little bit short. If you've been anywhere around the Pioneer or Explorer scene, I'm sure that this is nothing new to you. But I definitely want to make sure that it is cataloged here on the channel for anyone that's looking back here in a couple years or something like that, just to see what we were doing way back when. So I think that brings us to the end of things here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't been playing this deck and would like to here in Historic, where it is still full and legal, make sure to check out the deck list in the description. And with that being said, that is all from me. Quick reminder, call to action here. If you want to help support the channel, like the video and comment on it to help me out a bunch. And if you're new here, subscribe for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's all from me. Shillings out of the way. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.